Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Practical Products number PCAS4. This is obviously something that they source out from this tried-on company. Accurate Scribe, indispensable tool for the installation of anything that requires custom fitting to an irregular surface, especially useful for installing countertops of all types, kitchen cabinets, tile, architectural woodwork, and all types of flooring materials. Spaced back guide legs maintain the scribe point at a fixed and accurate spacing from the installation surface. Trimming to the scribe line assures conformity to the surface. I have needed to trim, I have needed to get base installed down onto literally a wavy surface. And a tool like this permits me to be able to do it. Let's take a closer look at it. Now I have the tool removed from its packaging. Super simple. 2 brass bolts and thumb screws. Okay. All they're going to do is tighten that up to lock it in place. No movement. That's going to spread out to allow you to install your pencil. I do not have a pencil here at my desk. It's simply going to slide down into that hole, and then you will tighten it. Good to go, not a problem. Now, the use of this tool is just, it's irreplaceable. So I'm going to read the installation instructions, and then I'm going to give you my opinion or take on that. And the cut sheet and the installation instructions are linked to down below this video. Place the item being installed against the installation surface, positioned at the location at which it is to be installed. Set the spacing between the back of the guide legs and the pencil point of the accurate scribe equal to the widest spacing between the item and the surface. Tighten the knurled nut to lock the setting. Place the back of the accurate scribe guides against the surface and slide it along the surface so that the pencil marks a line on the item. The pencil line will be parallel to the surface and will match its contour. Trim to the pencil line to obtain a perfect fit. Here's a simple instances in when you're going to use this. You are going to take a 12-foot countertop that's been made for your client's location. You know that that countertop is going to be straight. You know, the edge, the angles are going to be 90 degree. Let's just assume it's going to be exactly correct. That wall, probably not so much. So you're going to take that countertop and get it put in place. Okay? And you're going to realize, oh my gosh, I've got a gap over here, or I've got a gap over here. So what you'll do is you'll place this against the wall or the backstop or whatever this is going to press against. You're going to do that at the widest portion, the maximum. You're then going to take that and run that across the entire area so that you scribe a mark on the top of the counter. That's the line that you're going to cut. Now, let's reread the installation instruction line. Set the spacing between the back of the guide legs, and the pencil point of the accurate scribe equal to the widest spacing between the item and the surface. So that might be a little counterintuitive, but I think when you actually study the idea, when you've got that straddled over the widest area, you then go towards the smallest area. You have to be able to push the item against the wall or the backstop in that widest area. But because you're already almost touching at the other end, in order to make this come together, you got to take off more over at that other end. And I remember the first time a carpenter, a contractor client of mine, who spent 20 years in the field as a master carpenter. This guy didn't just, hang doors. He built stairs. And I said to him, Dave, I've got baseboard and the floor is wavy. What do I do? And he explained it to me, and I said, wow, just that's how this works. And what was the hardest part to get my head around was starting at the widest port. It's like, am I not taking off too much? Now, when you do it, maybe test it on something first before you go all in, I suppose. But it works supremely well. Take a couple of basic dimensions so you have an idea. Overall width on the back is about 1 1/8 inches. Overall height of the tool, it's about 4.5 inches. Obviously, its projection is whatever you need it to be. Interestingly enough, though, this does not have a capability to get really too far out. Your pencil point's going to need to get longer and longer. But I'm thinking you're going to be dealing with very small margins. Okay. And there you go. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the practical products, items that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog, a very handy document that will allow you to review, again, not only what they produce, but other items that might be of use to you. They've got some veneer, speaking of countertops, they've got a couple of veneer tools there, edge trimmers are there, tile cutters, glue guns are there, etc. I have used in the past they have, yes, of course, they're Vicks bits. They obviously don't manufacture them, at least I don't believe they do, but they have Vicks, V-I-X, Vicks bits. If you do any installation work where pre-drilling holes like for hinges is required, you're going to want to have a set of Vicks bits in your toolbox at all times. There's no way to proceed without them. They've got some handy router bits. Their catalog is really focused on that countertop laminate tile scenario, and this obviously goes right in hand with what they're selling. And I use the example of a countertop just because that's the first one that came to mind. Anyway, any questions on the practical product? This is their part number PCAS4 hand scribing tool, or any other practical product item. Please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.